Below is Chapter 7, Discipline over Motivation Every Time. Discipline is the decision, motivation is the excuse. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. Motivation fades. Discipline stays. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a decision. Say it clearly. Discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. Most people lose because they rely on motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the perfect morning, the perfect mood, the perfect wave of inspiration. And while they wait, their life moves nowhere. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is inconsistent. Motivation depends on emotion, and emotion changes hourly. You have a choice. Build your life on your feelings or build your life on your decisions. Only one of those leads to greatness. Motivation is a lie you tell yourself. Let's be honest. When you say, "I'm not motivated," what you really mean is, "I don't want to be uncomfortable." Motivation is the language of avoidance. It's the story you tell yourself to delay the work. It's the soft blanket that keeps you weak. I didn't go to the gym because I wasn't motivated. I didn't study because I wasn't motivated. I didn't work on my goals because I didn't feel it today. Listen carefully. Winners don't need to feel it. Winners don't wait. Winners act. Because winners understand one thing. Discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. That's the key. Discipline is doing it anyway. Discipline means you do the work even when you're tired, even when you're stressed, even when your mind tells you to quit. Discipline is built during the moments you want to walk away. Discipline is forged in discomfort. Discipline is strengthened by resistance. Anyone can work when they feel good. Anyone can show up on their best days. Anyone can start. But discipline is what makes you finish. Discipline is what makes you return tomorrow. Discipline is what builds the identity of someone who wins. You don't need their permission to become disciplined. You don't need the perfect conditions. You don't need motivation. You need a decision. You need structure. You need follow-through. Discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. Daily habits build the life you want. Your life is not built in big moments. Your life is built in the tiny, repeated decisions you make every day. Scheduled workouts, planned mornings, structured routines, non-negotiable habits. These are the foundations of a disciplined life. These are the actions that build momentum. You think habits don't matter? Look at your life. Your habits already built your current results. If you're not where you want to be, it's because your habits are aligned with your comfort, not your goals. You have a choice every morning. Remain the person who waits for motivation, or become the person who moves with discipline. Why motivation fails you every time. Motivation is emotional energy, and emotional energy burns out quickly. That's why people have great starts and terrible follow-through. Motivation fails because it isn't rooted in identity. It isn't rooted in commitment. It isn't rooted in structure. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Motivation shows up when it wants to. Discipline lives with you. Discipline follows you. Discipline shapes you. If you want results, you can no longer depend on emotional waves. You must depend on the systems you build. Discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. Discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. You are not born disciplined or born undisciplined. That's a myth. A convenient story you tell yourself to avoid accountability. Discipline is a skill you practice, a skill you strengthen through repetition, a skill you rebuild every day. You have a choice. You can live as the person who repeats excuses or become the person who repeats discipline. It's not about being talented. It's not about being gifted. It's not about being naturally motivated. It's about building systems that remove the need for motivation. Systems that turn discipline into your default mode. That's the key. Real-world discipline, the examples. Let's make it practical. A disciplined person schedules their workout. They don't see how they feel. They follow a plan. A disciplined person sets their mornings the night before. Clothes prepared. Tasks defined. Priorities chosen. No guessing. No drifting. No chaos. A disciplined person uses routines to remove decision fatigue. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on structure. A disciplined person sets boundaries around their time. No unnecessary scrolling. No mindless entertainment. No energy wasted on people who drain them. Discipline is order. Discipline is clarity. Discipline is control. And every one of these actions reinforces the core identity. I am the type of person who shows up no matter what. Because discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. You don't need motivation. You need standard. Here's the truth. People who depend on motivation chase feelings. People who depend on discipline chase results. Set standards. High standards. Non-negotiable standards. I work out regardless of mood. I follow my routine regardless of stress. I execute my plan regardless of inconvenience. This is how discipline becomes your identity. This is how execution becomes automatic. This is how success becomes predictable. Motivation is emotional. Standards are structural. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. Raise them, protect them, live by them. Discipline creates the life motivation promises. Motivation makes you excited. Discipline makes you successful. Motivation talks. Discipline acts. Motivation inspires. Discipline transforms. Every great life you admire is built on discipline. Not hype, not excitement, not temporary energy. Daily discipline. Daily decisions. Daily follow through. Say it again. Discipline is the decision. Motivation is the excuse. Transition to the next chapter. You chose discipline over motivation. You built structure. You eliminated excuses. You committed to action. Now it's time to focus on the next truth. Success doesn't come from explosive effort. It comes from steady, consistent pressure applied over time. You master discipline. Now let's talk about the fuel that keeps you going. Chapter 8. Make your environment serve your goals.